Yeah. Right, it's his loss, Robin, at the end of the day. It's not your fault. Yeah, it's his loss. I'm alright, yeah. I'm at work at the moment, so yeah, everything's alright. My name's Stewart, and I'm the Community Liaison Officer for the Shilhay Community, based in Exeter. 20 months ago, I found myself in the Howe Road Abstinence Resettlement Project because I'm an alcoholic, and for 25 years I totally devastated everything around me and ruined my life. And for some strange reason, someone gave me another chance, and so they put me in the Howe Road Resettlement Project. The difference between Howe Road and other rehab units you often see is that the object of Howe Road is for you to stand up on your own 2 feet, because no one else is going to help you other than yourself. At first, when you first move in, you think, you know, what's going on here? You just don't understand it. It's like, come on, help me. You know, you're meant to be helping me. You're the people that are, you know, meant to be helping me. Why aren't you helping me? But actually, you don't realise that they are, because what they're doing is making you confront your addiction. And the thing about addicts is that our addiction is absolutely overwhelming. We'd do anything for it. I'd do anything for a drink. I would have done anything. I'd have taken my mum's last pound for a drink. I would have done anything. And it's not because I hate those people, I don't love them. It's just that my addiction is more overwhelming than anything you can imagine. Now, the hardest thing about recovery is actually, the best way to compare it to anyone that has never been there is like breaking up with the biggest love you've ever had in your life. You know, I was married to alcohol and drugs. Absolute, I'd have done anything for them. It's the only relationship I've ever had in my life where I've been loyal to, and nothing would stand in the way of it. So that's what being an addict's like. And then suddenly you come out of detox and you don't know who you are. You just don't know who you are. You just literally, what's going on? And there I was, 20 months ago in the Howe Road Project, room 9. And I sat there with a sink, a single bed and a fridge. And I'll tell you what, that fridge was so old that it used to chat to me at night. The difference again with Howe Road and other units is that if I'd gone into a unit where every morning I got up and I'd have to do this and I'd have to do that, I would have walked away from it. I would have bluffed it because I was a con man in my life. You know, I would have done anything to get away with things. And if I'd gone that route, which I could have, I would have come out of there after 6 months of being plonked in the big wide world, and I'd have been back at it again. I'd have been on the juice. I'd have been literally a drunk again. So by being in a project where you've got to stand on your own 2 feet is a major difference. You're not left alone. I mean, you do think that a lot when you first go there. I mean, for the first 3 months, I absolutely abused the staff, saying, when are you going to help me? When are you going to do this for me? And it's not about that. You're in a place with 11 other addicts, and each one of them is trying to give up. And it's not a place for, oh, poor me's this, poor me that, because honestly, you hear horrific stories in there, and people have gone through worse than what I had. What Shilhay find for you is that, again, it's all about individual recovery. There's no set routine with Shilhay. It's up to you to go out and find your recovery. And in my case, I chose a 12-step abstinence project, which I would attend outside of the Shilhay. But what I didn't realise is that the staff were getting to know me, getting to know my habits and getting to know the type of person I was like. And if you spoke to some of the staff and told you what I was like in my early days, they'd have a giggle that they'd see me sat here now in front of this camera. Addiction, really, what Shilhay did with me is addiction. I was an addict to anything, you know, alcohol, drugs, whatever came my way. So, in a way, what Shilhay found with me is that they took my addiction and used it in a more positive sense. And a member of staff noticed that I kept a journal and that I wrote a lot about my actual stay in Shilhay. And so they encouraged me on that, in that aspect, to the extent that once I'd hit my 11 months sobriety, I was offered the chance to become a volunteer fundraiser for the Shilhay community. I mean, that was so funny, really, because, you know, all my life, all I'd ever done is rip people off. I'd ripped off so many people in different aspects. I mean, if I could take 50 pence out of someone's pocket, I'd do it, and, you know, especially being a taxi driver. So, in a way, I giggled at it because Shilhay, what they did is they took that part of me and they said, right, become a fundraiser and start making money for charity. And so I did, and actually, that has become my new addiction. I love what I do. I get a buzz out of it. You know, if we can make 50 quid, I'm happy. And what I look at now is that, for me personally, how I cope with my problems is that I have to role reverse them and help people. I'm not going to go around the streets putting my arm around them going, oh, come on. It's not about that. It's about letting people realise that, maybe setting an example that, yeah, you can turn your life around. But I have to protect myself with Shilhay and I have to be a part of Shilhay because that's what keeps me sober. And it is, it can annoy a lot of people around me sometimes. I go off the plot. I'm an addict at the end of the day, and we are a very a special breed of people, especially recovering ones. But yeah, Shilhay has given me a second chance, and I'll do anything for this company because I never ever thought that I'd be able to give up alcohol. And even my very first night when I sat in that room, you know, I thought, what's the point? You know, and there is a point, and that is getting sober and coming away from that prison that I was in. And it is a prison, and this is what I think some people don't understand about addiction, is that we are entrapped in our addiction, and it doesn't matter what it is. Loved ones, family, my family, I devastated my family, absolute. You know, if there's one thing in this world I'd love more, is to sit down and talk to my sister, you know? Because I devastated her life. I devastated my mum, my brother, everyone's lives. And I don't expect them all to come running up to me with open arms saying, oh, you're better. It's not about that. The only way I'm ever going to make amends with my family and the people that lives I devastated around is to show them, through the work I do now and the way I live my life, that is my making amends to people, that they can see that I have turned the corner. If, you know, I make full amends with family, I'll be happy about it. A bit mad really, but it's a bit like the football team I support, you know, Portsmouth, you know. I'm out my tree for 10 years when they're in the Premiership, and suddenly I give up and go clean and recovery, and they're in the second division, so I missed out on everything. But really, if you look at it, being in the second division, that's what I am, you know, I'm in the second division, and recovery is a learning process. And I'm at the bottom again, and I've got to work my way out of this and keep working at this, and it is a day at a time, and I've got a day at a time for the rest of my life. To anyone out there, any addict out there that wants to have a shot at this recovery game, all I'll say to you is that there ain't no magic wand to this. You know, you got to want it. You've got to want to totally transform your life. No one's gonna like put their arm around you and say, "Oh, there you go, you're better now." It ain't. You're never better. You've got to learn to live with it. You've got to learn each day to get up every morning and accept that what you are, and do whatever you possibly can not to pick up. And if you want to do this, you've really got to want it, and you've got to go out there and you've got to have it.
Well, I think I'm going to shut up now and go and do some proper work, and I'd like to thank you for giving me this chance. Cheers, thanks. There's no business like show business.